Hi, this is Fred at Electrek, and today we're checking out this thing. What is it, you ask? Let's find out together. All right, since I've been testing this thing around my place here in Quebec, I had a lot of different comments about it, about what is it. I've got everything from like, is it some kind of like four-wheel electric scooter? Is it a mobility scooter for old people? Well, I don't think your grandpa's mobility scooter has this kind of suspension right here. So this is it's something from Envo drives, which you might remember from the Envo Stacks, which is basically my new favorite e-bike now. And they just built this thing that they are preparing to launch now, and they are calling it an electric ATV because that's basically what it does. I know that it might not look exactly like that because of the design that they went with, which is this sort of electric platform, which I find interesting because it's kind of a representation of how versatile electric vehicles are, because you can go from literally an electric skateboard, and it's basically that. It's a board with a battery pack underneath it and an electric motor, or several electric motor, like two in this case, two 1500 watts motors at the rear wheels. And then you can blow that up at any size you want, and basically an electric car from Tesla, the platform is somewhat similar. And what they did with it, they did it at this particular size that you see here. And they decided to add this steering wheel, well, steering column, similar to what you see on the scooter. And then you have this removable seat. So this seat, you can remove it, so you can just use the ATV standing or sitting up on this, but it's not a usual sitting position. And so far, it does really hold up to its name, to being an ATV, because it is all-terrain. And it has been handling all the off-road that I've been throwing at it so far without much of an issue. I mean, as you can see, I have pretty sturdy suspension here. And this is just a prototype too, but a quite advanced one. And other than that, like I previously said, there's a 1500 watts motor. You have also a 3000 watt hour, so 3 kilowatt hour battery pack at the bottom here that keeps your center of gravity quite low, which is very important with this vehicle, because unlike an ATV where you're sitting a bit lower to the ground, you're sitting up on this thing or standing up. So the lower center of gravity is extremely important. According to Envo, the 3 kilowatt hour battery pack here is going to be good enough for 40 to 70 kilometers of riding, which is about 40 miles. But obviously that completely depends on how you use this thing, because again, it's an ATV, so you can just go have fun off-road with it, or you can actually do some work, because you can attach a trailer on it. And I'm going to show you some footage of that, because that's how I've been using it around. This thing, despite not being that powerful for an ATV, it still has a 350 pound, no, sorry, 350 kilograms of towing capacity, which is, I think, about 800 pounds. So you can do some real work with this thing. As for the top speed on this thing, it is 50 kilometers an hour. You have different level of speed here, 1 to 3, that locks the top speed and the acceleration. And 50 kilometers an hour is about 30 miles per hour, if I'm not mistaken. And trust me, it's plenty. I on this thing, like past 40 kilometers per hour, I was starting to get a bit nervous, again, because of the standing / sitting position. So who is this for, really? Because it's not, like I said, the first look at it, some people will say, oh, it's just a mobility scooter, but you don't want to be on the road with that. This is more of an off-road vehicle, hence being an ATV. So I think you can do it. I've been using it around my piece of land here to do some work because of the towing capacity with the little trailer. It has been an awesome experience. But there's a lot of other things you can do with it. I've been taking out in nature. I was able to get very close to a deer. The first time I took it out, I spotted a deer, and I was coming down pretty fast on it. So I did spook it at first, and it ran away. but I started driving a little bit slower, and I tried to spot it again, and I did spot it again, and I managed to get very close to the deer with this electric ATV, which is something that you wouldn't have been able to do, obviously, with a gas-powered ATV, with the sound that it is making. So this could be a very great solution for hunters, for nature lovers that you want to do some kind of nature tour. You can use that a little bit like you see people doing the Segway tours in the city. Instead of a Segway tour, electric Segway, you could have an electric Envo ATV instead, and do it in nature. That could be a cool experience. That was it for our first look at the Envo electric ATV. If you did enjoy it, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to see Electrek's next electric vehicle video. And if you want more information on the Envo electric ATV, you can look in the description below. You have a link on our article on it that has a lot more details and a link to Envo's website. See you next time.